And it's Alex Jones here on Facebook Mentions. We'll also archive this live feed up at the YouTube channel and post it at Infowars.com. I am not someone who is here as a vassal of Donald J. Trump to just defend whatever he's doing. If Donald Trump ever goes sideways, I will absolutely expose him and go after him. But the globalists have been against Trump because they know he's got an agenda to turn our republic back on, and that's not part of their globalist plan. And look, I know I keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again because it's key to this. The globalists want a post-industrial world where they pick winners and losers, and only a few people are actually able, under this system, to have companies, to have jobs, to have industry. It's a total monopoly. It's where they sew up the economy. And that's why they're so against Trump, because the power structure, about to go in the grocery store for my family, pick some stuff up I forgot, because the globalists understand that they can't compete with the American system. Now, I'm done talking about that. Let me talk about a world under Hillary. Hillary Clinton was a giant warmonger who turned the Arab Spring loose, working with Facebook, Twitter, and Google, in an admitted plan to take over much of Africa, the Middle East, you name it, for Saudi Arabia and the Muslim Brotherhood, putting the most radical, Wahhabist, Sunni, death cult garbage in control, in charge. They're the people that send their kids to go suicide bomb. They're the people that can't live in peace with other Muslims. They're the people that are absolutely sworn to take over our civilization and society. So can you imagine what it would be like under Hillary? Our economy was stagnating. They were consolidating control while telling us the economy was great. Under Trump, $100 billion added in 50 days to the stock market. 50, as I've said, 50 billion Japanese investment announced next year in robotics and high tech, the best kind of jobs we want. Cutting edge development. 10 billion in steel jobs already coming back. 2 Ford plants. The big air conditioning company, Carrier, coming back. And he's not even president yet. And they're already saying they have the votes to cut our corporate income tax to the global average to bring back over $1 trillion that's there. And they're pissed. So the Federal Reserve has announced they are cutting interest rates to try to put a damper on that economy. Trump wants them to stay at zero. I'm against 0% interest rates because it penalizes investors and folks that have saved their money. But if you're going to keep it at 0% interest rates for 6 years, but then not loan money, the globalists just gave themselves free money. Now Trump's going, we're going to keep it low so the people actually get some good interest rates and get things spurred and moving, and then start raising it. But see, they're now raising it preemptively to drive that down. So imagine a world under Hillary where she's turning the jihadis loose, where they're opening the borders up, where they get 4 to 5 new Supreme Court justices, where she admits she's coming after our guns, where they admit that they're trying to federalize education, where they admit that they're trying to take more and more public lands out of use from the general population, where she was going to continue to shut down what was left. In 8 years of Obama, they shut down more than half of our coal power plants that are totally clean, have scrubbers on them, so that all that comes out is carbon dioxide and water vapor. She was going to accelerate that and shut down another quarter at least, so that we wouldn't have triple the cost of China's electricity, but quadruple or more. Again, how do you compete when we have expensive electricity? They don't. This is what globalism is. So Trump's approval ratings, even in Gallup, have only gone up since he got elected. And those are rigged polls as well. We know they're oversampling Democrats, older folks, and people that tend to be more liberal because they want to have a, quote, fixed income from the government. But if you look at all these numbers, it's the highest exuberance, the highest confidence ever recorded in Gallup's 100 years. That's Trump euphoria. That's Americana coming back. But again, I'm proud of the fact that I'm cheerleading for Trump because he's doing the right thing, because I know their attack plan. I said this a month ago before it was in the Washington Post 2 weeks ago. They said our hope is to get Alex Jones and the Breitbart crowd to split off. They talk like we're not reading or watching. Like that Bloomberg article from July where he's talking to Slate about how, we're going to take their guns by stealth now, locally calling it gun safety. And we're having some success now by stealth. But the good news is they're so arrogant, they tell us what they're going to do. So there they are admitting that they're trying to get us to infight with Trump. Day one, say he's not perfect. Oh, look at who he's appointing. I don't care who he appoints. I want results. And he's appointing people, and you study them, that were high-powered corporate people, but were actually anti-globalist inside the structure. Every one of them. That's why half of them openly are anti-New World Order. The other half were anti-New World Order till they almost got destroyed, like Rex Tillerson, Mnuchin, and others. So see, I'm informed. People are saying, oh my God, Peter Thiel, the big Bilderberg billionaire, creator of PayPal and all this other crap, part owner of Facebook. What the hell is going on? What are you doing? He goes to Bilderberg. Peter Thiel stopped and talked to our camera people until they kind of got in his face. They were excited in Germany this year at Bilderberg. Now, Petraeus ran away, you notice. I mean, literally ran from Rob Dude, but The other folks talked to him and kind of jumped on him, so he kind of ran off. But he came over to talk to the cameras. He's the guy that made it where Zuckerberg couldn't completely spike InfoWars and Drudge and everybody and the Tea Party and Breitbart at Facebook. He was the one that blocked. And then he was getting ordered, Zuckerberg, in the media, hey, you better only be for Hillary. What's your problem? And he said, it's not that easy. I've got Peter Thiel and people that are shareholders I can't censor yet. Wait till Hillary wins. Well, Hillary lost. So they're still going ahead with the censorship now. But see, Trump's in. So we're not even winning. We're just in the fight. Do people understand that yet? He's 25 days from being in office. And there's this attempt to start this meme, and it's failing, by the way, that Trump already sold us out. That was the headline that I covered Thursday in National Review, the big CIA. And by the way, it was set up to take over the conservative movement in the 60s. National Review was. That's declassified. And I'm not saying William F. Buckley was bad or any of them were bad. The point was they were like, after we had Barry Goldwater almost take the country back, like Trump's doing, we cannot allow the conservatives to do what they really want. We've got to have loyal opposition to the globalist system. And so that's what National Review was. It's what it is. Okay? And that's over. And Trump knows this. This big movement against globalism, against corporate fascism that isn't free market, crony capitalism, is so big. From Japan to Italy to the UK to the Netherlands to Brazil to Reykjavik and Iceland, everybody's pulling out of it. Every vote they have, people are pulling out. And the EU says, well, you can't leave. So this whole system is falling apart. The globalist program is a joke, but this is such an epic war. I don't know how I'm not supposed to sit here and talk about this 24/7. This is incredible. Trump beat the mainstream media, beat all the big corporate money, had the entire power structure, got no billionaire money except for Peter Thiel. And I've been watching Peter Thiel for a decade and said, the verdict was out on him. But just because you go to Bilderberg, I said this 10 years ago, doesn't mean you're evil. They have like 30 guests there every year that they try to vet and look at. You knew the split with China was about to happen 5 years ago when China stopped getting invited. So all hell's breaking loose, and Bilderberg's just one of the top meeting houses of this whole globalist power structure where the old European power merged with the British Empire and the U.S. at the end of World War II. But yes, if Trump starts following globalist policies that screw the little guy, then I'm going to start coming out against him. But all that aside, I intend to be loyal opposition in the good sense that we're Trump's friends and we're friends of the libertarian, constitutionalist, Americana takeover of the Republican Party. But it's because we're loyal opposition, we're so close to Trump, when we talk, people are really going to listen. We're not just going to bitch up front about made up and exaggerated stuff and take the bait of the headline that was in National Review that said, Trump is already ditching and betraying. In fact, I should Google it. It was some disgusting headline like Trump is already, ditching his supporters. Trump is already betraying his supporters. And then it says he's a globalist. He's New World Order. All this stuff they never said existed. Suddenly it's Trump thinking we're dumb. And people just heard my message and Ron Paul's message and Trump's message. And that somehow if they just say now that Trump's a globalist, we'll all turn against him. In fact, let me pull up the exact headline here. It was National Review. Trump already. I misspelled that bad. We'll see what comes up. God. Shoot. So I get all wound up because there's just so much. Here it is. I get obsessed with like some little factoid that I've got to show you. Trump is already ditching his movement. And you read this. This is in USA Today, New York Times, Washington Post, the same kind of article. He's ditching his movement. He's a globalist. He's New World Order. He's betrayed his people. Oh, but still they want to bring him down. So they're New World Order, but now they're mad because they're saying he's New World Order. But the whole power structure is still against him. And what he's doing is he's getting all the powerful people that aren't globalists and who are free market and who also want America to dominate with its ideas and commerce. He's getting them all together to defeat the other big oligarchs that are trying to set this power structure up again. So it's a very, very amazing time to be alive right now. And I just want everybody to think about what would it be like if we had Hillary Rodham Clinton in charge, in power, in control. Just think about how we were on our knees, demoralized, falling apart. They were consolidating control. They were turning us into a nation of renters, into a nation of people in debt, controlled, with no hope, with worthless college degrees, in a giant global program to domesticate and bring America to its knees, to be folded into this larger corporate system. They write textbooks, they wite books, they write white papers. It's all admitted. Go read the damn WikiLeaks. This isn't my opinion. Have people figured that out yet? It's why serious people, world leaders, major, heavy hitters in Congress listen. not because they're even learning anything from me. They know this is a place where we've done real research and they can get the optics of the overall program they're already involved in. And we're putting out an alternative ideology to globalism. They want this empty plastic culture with no ideology where we just accept whatever MTV and CNN says, and that's over. Their ratings are done. They know they're gone. That's why they're coming in saying censor InfoWars, censor Drudge, censor Breitbart, but mainly InfoWars, because they understand they can't compete with this real ideology. It just doesn't sell. And the young people are awake. Rex, we just ran into this Bo place. It was a young high school student there, a freshman. He would wear the InfoWars Hillary to prison, shirt to school and wake folks up. I mean, I know at your private school, a lot of the young people are awake. Tell us about that.
Oh, absolutely. It's so important that the young people are finally aware, especially with this big election filled with turmoil. People started to notice that there wasn't just this one set of rules that everyone followed and everyone knew, and this was the reality and this was the fact. People are learning the real truth now instead of what they're force-fed, BuzzFeed, MTV. It's all horrible. But now that people are actually learning and they're actually waking up, especially the younger people, we can start to transform our society by transforming our culture. And that's what's so important for everyone to do, is just start becoming a little more aware and telling people that there isn't just this one ideology, this one set of rules.
Well, that's it, exactly. They want to define us as alt-right. They want to say who are. They want to control the language. That's over, control freaks. You want to add anything?
Oh, absolutely. It's total. They're all control freaks. That's their whole thing. They're on this little power trip about how they're so great, about how.
Q, you already had folks contacting you that saw you at the bow shop with us, so they're already watching. What do you want to say?
Yeah, in fact, I think that what people fail to realize is how great it would have been if Hillary was in office. I mean, imagine open borders, no jobs. We could all be flat broke. We could have an influx of immigrants overloading the system. It'd be amazing. Veterans could be left to die in VA parking lots.
Or in war with Russia, they could die.
Right.
Oh yeah, Hillary wanted to start a war with Russia, but now Trump's the warmonger. Q, we were talking about this 2 weeks ago. China says we're building more nukes, we'll attack you, we'll invade the South China Sea. Then Trump says that's too bad. Until you come back to your sanity, we'll have to up our nukes. The media, I showed you the articles today, totally spun it like out of the blue. He announced more nukes. It's crazy. You want to comment on that?
So now Trump is supposedly this nuclear war monger and decides out of the blue that he's going to do it all, when in fact, why should he be penalized or judged based on the fact that he's just prepared to defend the homeland by whatever means necessary? So
he's responding.
Right.
No one says China's threatening this. He says, okay, we'll up our nukes. They don't even mention what China said. They just go out of the blue. He says he wants more nukes.
This is kind of like gun control in a way, if you think about it. They're saying if you defend yourself, then you're bad because you want to have the capability to defend yourself from the intruder, the interloper who's trying to attack you, so thereby
well,
you're
sure,
bad.
China's expanding, but exactly that's the point I'm making. I want to get Q's take on this, the Zimmermans. Folks, China comes out and says we're upping our nukes, we're breaking our treaties. Trump goes, okay, well, if you're going to break the treaty until you come to your sanity, he actually said this in the tweet, we'll have to look at upping it. The media just said out of the blue he announced more nukes when they know full well China said it. I mean, these globalists and the minions siding against America with communist China openly shows how evil they are, Q.
yeah, I mean, basically all he's doing is just telling the world that if you choose to not play by the rules, we're prepared to defend ourselves. Why should we sit back as a homeland and not progress in the defense of our country while other nations, terrorists or whatever, decide to do differently? I just don't have anything for them.
Can I add on something there?
Sure, it's just crazy.
It's crazy how we as a society are supposed to accept the jihadis and the radical terrorists, and we're supposed to not talk about what they're doing, and somehow it makes us bad. We need to be more aware.
Exactly. People, literally, when I put up this video that was in major newspapers of these parents with their 7 and 9-year-old daughters getting ready to a suicide bomb in Damascus, and it was admitted that, I mean, ISIS, al-Nusra, that's Al-Qaeda ISIS front, put out the video that's theirs. They're bragging about it, and they said, oh, it's fake or you're Islamophobic. I mean, this is how politically correct it is. I'm not supposed to show people that are blowing up their daughters, and then I'm the dirty one because they're bringing them in unvetted, folks. The quote, Syria 20% Christian. They're bringing in 0.2 Christians in here for thousands of people that come in, a few are Christians. Obama's not letting Christians in. They're bringing people in that actually invaded Syria, who failed, and now they're allowed to come into Europe. Why do you think they're doing this, Q?
My personal opinion, they're doing it because they want to have enough of a fighting force here that can continue to uprise, that can continue to push against what we feel is right as Americans, so they can eventually, try to impose Sharia law on us, so they can create a worldwide Muslim nation.
And by the way, I used to hear that 10 years ago from veterans and soldiers and patriots. And Glenn Beck, who's totally joined the left and does a lot of bad stuff now, but Lindbeck was one of the first to say it. He was like, they're going to bring here and do a caliphate and this Ottoman Empire and all this stuff. And I knew they were writing that and saying that in the Middle East, but now they have people like, he was the Secretary of State in Berlin. It's a state, in Germany, not just a city. People think of it as that. It's the state of Texas or whatever. It's one of the oldest states in Germany. There used to be little kingdoms in Germany. Now they're all unified. They call them states. And she says we're going to have Sharia law, and she's supporting burqas and wants to bring people in and put people under Sharia law. And then in the left, in London, they have an Islamic mayor now who won't let you put women with bathing suits up on billboards. He says, no, we're going to carry out Sharia. He said, I'm not an Uncle Tom. We're going to carry out Sharia. And he said, I don't care if the UK breaks away from Europe. We're going to bring Muslims here and make this Londistan. I mean, he's breaking away and saying London is his. So they brought in uncompatible people because the globalists know they bring in Muslims that are uncompatible. Even in their own countries, they kill each other. They're so out of control. Then we have to be told we can't have free speech because you're going to stir the Muslims up. And that's why Merkel arrests people in Germany that even mildly criticize Islam. Like, how do you say the guy's name in the Netherlands who's a member of parliament running for president? He's in the lead, like Gertz. I always say it wrong. But the point is, he just got convicted 2 weeks ago of racial incitement for saying we shouldn't bring in unvetted Muslims.
These people are just, why do we bring in people and told we're supposed to love them who chop off heads and murder children? And then we're bad when we criticize them. I mean, it's something out of a movie.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. Well, look, and then the feminists get off on it. And like, you go to these feminist events and these communist events, liberal events, there are women there wearing burqas. And it's like in their own countries, they wouldn't be allowed to demonstrate. And the leftists like love Islam. Is everyone your take on that?
Well, they've made it this trendy thing. Like all over Europe, they're saying it's a fashion statement. Oh, the burqa is beautiful. But, going back to Trump and the nukes and all that, I think it really all comes down to what he was campaigning on, which is America first. So we're going to have the best military. We're going to have the best economy. And America is going to be the best country in the world again. Deal with it.
Well, I mean, the whole point is we were great because we had low taxes and entrepreneurial freedom. And then notice they've gotten rid of that, but China and India and Mexico can have it because the globalists all made deals with them to screw us over. That's not my opinion, folks. This is the big enchilada. You understand why is InfoWars so successful and so famous? Because I go read globalist documents and then cover them on air. I'm not that special. Anybody can dial into what we cover and go start their own show today covering the white papers, and we can change the world. I don't want a monopoly on this info. It's why I have Michael Savage on. It's why I promote other big talk show hosts. It's why I promote people that are doing a good job on shows on Fox, and I think are taking the show, in the right direction. The guy that owns the Daily Caller, had one of those moments. He's a listener. We had dinner. What's his name? He owns the Daily Caller. I have him on all the time. Tell the prompt for free. He's got a show on Fox now at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Tucker
Carlson. Yeah, I mean, he's covering real stuff. And our culture is better. Free market, open systems of liberty. But sovereignty is much better than what the globalists have. We've just got to ignore their bullying, ignore their control freak garbage, their attempts to tell us how to talk, what to do, and it's game over. Of course they want to shut down speech because they can't compete with us. So again, everybody contemplate this. Imagine a world where Hillary Clinton and her people had 4 to 8 more years. They were getting ready to bring in total tyranny. They admitted it because they want to sew the thing up because they knew culturally they were beginning to lose. But we worked so hard, you worked so hard as the info warriors, that we kicked their ass even though they tried to steal the election. The tsunami was so big, they stole 5 states. We still came over the wall. They lost. Now they are freaking out because they realize that their whole system of being parasites is in serious jeopardy. So don't go to sleep this holiday season. I'm still waiting to see what they'll ram through today or tomorrow, like they always do, when we're all busy, around the Christmas tree. And just remember, the jihadis and other people attacked on Christmas, and they're saying more attacks are coming because, again, they fundamentally want to bully us. They've miscalculated what we're going to do. The bullying is going to blow up in their face, and they're going to lose this clash of civilizations. And the globalists who thought they'd have this clash of civilizations are the ones that are going to end up being destroyed politically in the end. Infowars.com/show. Spread that link. In fact, I'll do one more video later on the jihad threats inside the United States and Europe over this Christmas holiday, and then that'll be it until I come back live on Monday and Tuesday. God bless you all. Merry Christmas. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live. Available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action. And it's Alex Jones here on Facebook Mentions. We'll also archive this live feed up at the YouTube channel and post it at Infowars.com. I am not someone who is here as a vassal of Donald J. Trump to just defend whatever he's doing. If Donald Trump ever goes sideways, I will absolutely expose him and go after him. But the globalists have been against Trump because they know he's got an agenda to turn our republic back on, and that's not part of their globalist plan. And look, I know I keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again because it's key to this. The globalists want a post-industrial world where they pick winners and losers, and only a few people are actually able, under this system, to have companies, to have jobs, to have industry. It's a total monopoly. It's where they sew up the economy. And that's why they're so against Trump, because the power structure, about to go in the grocery store for my family, pick some stuff up, I forgot, because the globalists understand that they can't compete with the American system. Now, I'm done talking about that. Let me talk about a world under Hillary. Hillary Clinton was a giant warmonger who turned the Arab Spring loose, working with Facebook, Twitter, and Google, in an admitted plan to take over much of Africa, the Middle East, you name it, for Saudi Arabia and the Muslim Brotherhood, putting the most radical, Wahhabist, Sunni, death cult garbage in control, in charge. They're the people that send their kids to go suicide bomb. They're the people that can't live in peace with other Muslims. They're the people that are absolutely sworn to take over our civilization and society. So can you imagine what it would be like under Hillary? Our economy was stagnating. They were consolidating control while telling us the economy was great. Under Trump, $100 billion added in 50 days to the stock market. 50, as I've said, 50 billion Japanese investment announced next year in robotics and high tech, the best kind of jobs we want. Cutting edge development. 10 billion in steel jobs already coming back. 2 Ford plants. The big air conditioning company Carrier coming back, and he's not even president yet. And they're already saying they have the votes to cut our corporate income tax to the global average to bring back over $1 trillion that's there. And they're pissed. So the Federal Reserve has announced they are cutting interest rates to try to put a damper on that economy. Trump wants them to stay at 0. I'm against 0% interest rates because it penalizes investors and folks that have saved their money. But if you're going to keep it at 0% interest rates for 6 years, but then not loan money, the globalists just gave themselves free money. Now Trump's going, we're going to keep it low so the people actually get some good interest rates and get things spurred and moving, and then start raising it. But see, they're now raising it preemptively to drive that down. So imagine a world under Hillary where she's turning the jihadis loose, where they're opening the borders up, where they get 4 to 5 new Supreme Court justices